Hi, I'm Randy Altman with Post Perspective. We're here with Studio B&H's Michel Suissa. Welcome, Michel.
Well, thank you, Randy. I was going to say welcome. I'm happy you welcome me. You know, it's always a privilege, a pleasure. Our friendship goes back a long way, and it's always great to talk to you.
Oh, same here, same here. Well, this time we're talking about SIGGRAPH, which was supposed to take place in DC this year, and obviously it isn't for the obvious reason. So, but you guys were going to have a booth there. You were going to have a nice presence. Why don't you talk about what you had planned for SIGGRAPH DC, what you're doing in terms of virtual stuff now, and we could kind of take it from there.
Okay. Our presence at trade shows has always been a trademark of the company. You go to NAB or SIGGRAPH, and you see B&H, and in my case, the studio division, showing what we do best, which is not selling equipment, but selling services and complete solutions, where we interact a lot more with our clients on learning about their workflow, advising them on technology and setup, installation, and integration as well. So our focus on SIGGRAPH this year was going to be really the main focus that SIGGRAPH seemed to have been going in the past few years is anything that is virtual production, anything that is high-end computing, anything that is real-time applications. We're going to show that. We're going to show, again, our partnership with our friends at NCAM. It's been a very, very, very solid partnership for the past 2 years. And we're going to probably show some different solutions that would be integrating VR into hybrid workflows. And we're going to show very, very large-scale computing performance with our friends at SIGGRAPH. And again, a level of integration of acquisition all the way, to finishing, with the traditional tool sets. Anything that's post-production, we would have had sort of a real sort of selection of products and solutions. But that's, that's sort of a difficult aspect to talk about because we can't show anything this year. And we sort of had to readapt, and reevaluate how we present solutions to our customers. And I think that's the same way for everyone in the industry. I think COVID has brought on an accelerated process into approaching things differently. You have to be nimble. And I think if something exists in our industry is people being nimble. I think, we adapt very well, the difficult circumstances in this case. But I think what we have decided to do is just like what we've done for NAB. We've put together our own virtual platform in parallel to our presence, in the NAB Express platform. We're going to do the same thing here. We have a official presence in the SIGGRAPH environment, which is offering virtual presence, for a lot of their contributors, participants, exhibitors, conferences. So we're going to participate, to a certain level in this initiative. We're also going to try, just like we did for NAB, is we're going to put together our own little virtual platform where we're going to engage some of our vendors, we're going to engage our customers, we're going to engage people in the industry. We have things that we find are interesting to say, and we're going to present that to our community in a way that's probably also maybe a little more diverse, than a physical presence. Physical presence, you're really sort of limited to the technology that you brought, on site. In this case, we'll be a little more cerebral, less than physical, and approach people to talk about, their workflows and sort of give a little bit of the space that we would have, for a presence in DC. We'll give that back to, our partners, whether they are our clients or our vendors. So that's going to be the focus. We have a relatively modest schedule, but I think it's very targeted. I think we've studied the trends that are sort of coming out. you know, forced and non-forced, you know, whether with the trends, you know, that sort of came in from a general sense of the direction for the industry, or new trends that have had to be developed really quickly because of, you know, the COVID situation. So it'll be a mix, you know, and we've identified a number of things. We're going to put a strong emphasis on applications that use real-time rendering platforms like Unreal Engine, for example. We're also going to place a very large emphasis on animation. You know, we've never really targeted animation as sort of a core component of the industry. We're going to do that this year with special offers for animators and freelancers. You know, we know that it's a little bit of a delicate proposition for freelancers these days, probably more difficult than in other industries. So we want to make sure that we give back to that community and offer them, you know, some special deals and interesting propositions, learning opportunities, and all of that.
Well, I know that visual effects is holds a special place in your heart. That's sort of how you began in the industry. So there has been a lot of change in visual effects, a lot of talk about virtual production that involves VFX. What are you seeing in terms of trends?
Well, I'm saying that to a certain extent, right? Not to the full extent, but to a certain extent, my decades of experience putting together a perfect green screen is sort of moving away a little bit, you know, and it seems like, you know, the on-screen visual effects, as it's called, you know, it has a few names, you know, and I think the folks at Stargate, you know, in Canada are big proponents, you know, of this technique. But I think you see a lot of LED walls, you know, flourish in a lot of studios in and around the country. And it really allows people to develop sort of a different framework, you know, for visual effects. And that's really interesting. And I think a lot of people have warmed up to the idea after they saw the quality of what was put together for The Mandalorian. I think that was really sort of a head turner, and it was a head turner for us as well. And we decided to give it a little more attention. So we sort of investigating how we can better serve the community. You know, we're forming new partnerships with studios. We have a vested interest in making sure that they can be hybrid, that if you still need to do green or blue screen, then you can do that. But also if you need to put together a video wall because that's the demand, then we can also support these initiatives.
Fantastic. Michel, thank you for sharing your wisdom. Where can people find out about your studio?
Anything that's going to relate to SIGGRAPH in particular, people can go to bnhphoto.com. The landing page will have a definite banner that can direct you to both our studio applications and services, and also the content that we'll be creating.
Fantastic. Thanks so much. Take care.
All right. Same to you. Okay. Bye.